Happy President's Day! I don't have a US flag. So what does this teddy bear and this big stick have in common? Today for President's Day, we'll be talking about the man and legend, Teddy Roosevelt. How do you celebrate President's Day? Oh, hello there. I didn't see you there. Hello and welcome to EcoWest, where I, Daniel Kim, try to inspire you to go out into nature. Today is President's Day, and today we are here in the Hoh Rain Forest, where Teddy Roosevelt got inspired to do conservation. We're driving to the Hoh Rain Forest in Olympic National Park. It's on the Olympic Peninsula, so it's further away from the city compared to our previous sites, but it's well worth it. This channel centers around conservation and nature, so who else is a better president to showcase on President's Day other than Theodore Roosevelt? The man who refused to shoot a tied up bear, which led to the creation of the teddy bear, and the man with the speak softly and carry a big stick proverb for his international negotiations. But what I think Teddy Roosevelt is most celebrated for is being the first president to lead the conservation movement in the United States. But why? For that, we have to talk about his background. Teddy Roosevelt was a wild man and a hunter at heart. He loved the thrill of the hunt, but what made him different from the others is that he looked at the loss of game in a different lens. He famously wrote, "We have become great because of the lavish use of our resources, but the time has come to inquire seriously what will happen when our forests are gone, when the coal, the iron, the oil, and the gas are exhausted, when the soils have still further impoverished and washed into the streams, polluting the rivers, denuding the fields, and obstructing navigation." What we see as conservation is usually the saving of endangered species and restoring resources to the environment. But back in the early 1900s, the mindset was different. Conservation started because people wanted to protect the lands that game animals lived in, so that these animals can be continually hunted for generation upon generation, which is still a main core in hunting culture. Theodore Roosevelt wanted to protect these lands. He saw the beauty of the landscape and used his presidential power to establish national parks and monuments. By the end of his presidency, he established 230 million acres of public land. This is where we connect Olympic National Park and Teddy Roosevelt. On March 2nd, 1909, he created the Mount Olympus National Monument through the Antiquities Act. This protected 615,000 acres of land. Teddy Roosevelt's main reasoning for conservation of this area was to increase the population of elk. Through his mission, this area was protected and brought into conservation. Teddy Roosevelt understood the importance of conservation. He stated, "Of all the questions which can come before this nation, short of the actual preservation of its existence in a great war, there is none which compares its importance with its great central task of leaving this land even a better land for our descendants than it is for us." While creating a national monument was an important step in conserving the land, the next step further was to create a national park. This is where another Roosevelt played a larger role. After 29 years, Franklin Roosevelt visited the national monument and decided to come to the land to assess the situation. However, Roosevelt's visit was created by the Forest Service and lumber industry. Attempting to sway the president into not creating a national park, the Forest Service moved the sign that marked the boundary of the national forest and created the illusion that the areas heavily logged were not part of federal land. This angered Roosevelt and fueled his desire to save the forest. In 1938, Congress changed the status from national monument to national park, allowing an expansion of 187,000 acres from the Forest Service. This place is now a UNESCO site and a World Heritage Site. The amount of beauty found in here is limitless, and we have the two Roosevelts to thank for that. He has stated, "A nation that destroys its soils destroys itself. Forests are the lungs of our land. purifying the air and giving fresh strength to our people. So I urge you all, get out there and find the beauty that is around us all.